Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'm gonna continue to read from the introduction. The spirit of Bhagavad Gita, the next paragraph. The spirit of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita itself. It is just like this. If we want to take a particular medicine, then we have to follow the directions written on the label. We cannot take the medicine according to our own whim or the direction of a friend. It must be taken according to the directions on the label or the directions given by the physician. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita should be taken or accepted as it is, directed by the speaker himself. The speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Krishna. He is mentioned on every page of Bhagavad Gita as a supreme personality of Godhead Bhagavan. Of course, the word Bhagavan sometimes refers to any powerful person or any powerful demigod, and certainly here Bhagavan designates Lord Sri Krishna as a great personality. But at the same time, we should know that Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, as is confirmed by all great acharyas like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarak Swami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many other authorities of Vedic knowledge in India. The Lord himself also establishes himself as a supreme personality of Godhead in Bhagavad Gita, and he is accepted as such in the Brahma Samhita and all Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, known as Bhagavat Puran. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Therefore, we should take Bhagavad Gita as it is directed by the personality of Godhead himself. In the fourth chapter of Gita, the Lord says, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktama Maham Abhyayam. Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Bravit. Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarsayo Viduhu. Sakalini Hamahata Yoga Nasta Parantapaha. Saevayam Mayate Dya Yoga Prokta Puratanaha. Bhaktosi me saka cheti rahasyam etam uttamam. Here the Lord informs Arjuna that the system of yoga, the Bhagavad Gita, was first spoken to some god. The sun god explained it to Manu, and Manu explained it to Ikshvaku. And in that way, by disciplic succession, one speaker after another, this yoga system has been coming down. But in the course of time, it has become lost. Consequently, the Lord has to speak it again, this time to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He tells Arjuna that he is relating the supreme secret to him because Arjuna is his devotee and his friend. The purport of this is that Bhagavad Gita is a treatise which is especially meant for the devotee of the Lord. So this is very important. Uh, the purport of that is that Bhagavad Gita is a treatise which is especially meant for the devotee of the Lord. There are three classes of transcendentalists, namely Jnani, Yogi, and Bhakta, or the impersonalist, the meditator, and the devotee. Jnani means impersonalist, Yogi is the meditator, and Bhakta is the devotee. Here the Lord clearly tells Arjuna that he is making him the first receiver of new parampara, disciplic succession. Because the old succession was broken, it was Lord's wish, therefore, to establish another parampara in the same line through that was coming down from the sun god. From the sun god to others. And it was his wish that his teaching be distributed by Arjuna. He wanted Arjuna to become the authority in understanding the Gita. So we see that Bhagavad Gita is instructed to Arjuna, especially because Arjuna was a devotee of the Lord, a direct student of Krishna, and his intimate friend. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. That is to say, he must be a devotee in a direct relationship with the Lord. As soon as one becomes a devotee of the Lord, he also has a direct relationship with the Lord. That is a very elaborate subject matter, but briefly it can be stated that a devotee is in a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of the five ways. And then we will try to discuss those things. from here in the next session. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamanyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंगायते गिरिं कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्णा. Sorry, I'm still at this place, so not switching on the video. So, dear devotees, today's discussion is very interesting, where Srila Prabhupada, through the introduction itself, see, whoever Prabhupada is actually is very clear here. First first and foremost itself, he's trying to establish that the importance of disciplic succession, Guru Parampara. Now, first he started with Mangalacharan prayers, where he invoked that how Jiva in the conditioned state will slowly, through the association of the sadhus, pure souls, the spiritual master, through slowly through their association, what happens is the Jiva will actually understand his condition. Actually, this is interesting, dear devotees, because the Jiva should know what is his state of consciousness is. It means what is his condition, why the Jiva goes into ignorance, why sometimes the Jiva, he always says that, oh, you know what, let me practice Krishna consciousness very sincerely. Let me do this. And then the other moment, he will not be able to continue that. But there might be so many reasons for that. But that is all part of understanding that whatever we have or whatever we have been received, it's all given by us. It's not that something we have achieved. Now, a person who's a big engineer or a big doctor, he might say that, oh, you know what? It's I did so much. I worked on this so much, and then now I received this. But technically, when we see closely, it is actually given to us. See, if we do not have that right mentality or right spirit, then we cannot do that particular job. If we do not receive that intelligence, then we cannot work on it. For example, if there is a madman, the madman was being called in and then was being told, can you do this project? Will he be able to do that? No, even though physically he might be good, his hands might be good, his legs might be good, his vision is good, but his consciousness is different. That means his intelligence is different. That means that intelligence, which one is carrying, that is actually given to us. Now, Prabhupada is telling this Bhagavad Gita is only to that person who is very intelligent to really understand the truth. This is not to everyone, dear devotees. I tell you, this is not to everyone. There's so many people, they just want to know what this process is, and then they don't want to understand the details of it. There's so many people like that. They just connect on a surface level. And then whoever connects on a surface level, they will not stay. And whoever does not establish that relationship, they will also not stay. Why? Because here Arjuna has that relationship with the Lord. Now, through that relationship, Arjuna, where Prabhupada is mentioning the importance of the relationship, hmm, where Prabhupada very beautifully gives us the clarity about establishing that relationship, and how Krishna is, why Krishna is giving only to Arjuna, so many people there. Because Arjuna is only Bhakto Sime Sakachete Rahasyam Etam Uttamam. The most confidential knowledge is spoken to whom? The person who has, he, for the person should be reciprocative, and not just that, the person should develop a relationship with the person who's actually speaking. Here, which is Krishna, which is the spiritual master, the supreme personality of Godhead. And Krishna is assuring that I am telling this truth only to you because you are my devotee. That's what Prabhupada is actually mentioning here. Very lovingly as a father, he's actually telling that no, 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 this truth is for you. For example, you remember that, right? We just remember this, right? Mother, she's so caring, she's so loving. And then when the son comes to home, he goes and he studies in the in the hostel, and then he comes back. And then mother says, you know what? I prepared this for you. And then she says that, out of love, she feels so happy. You know what preparation she will do? She'll make that preparation which the son likes. Right? Why? Because she wants to extend that relationship. Likewise, here Arjuna Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Bhakta sime sakachete rahasam. What is that? Rahasam is a confidential thing. For example, you discuss confidential things with your wife, or with your father, or with your son, because they're part of your family. Or you don't discuss that confidential matters, and you discuss that confidential matters in the in the bedroom or in a private room where nobody else is there. You'll see that it is private. It's a conversation with your father. Nobody else should hear that, right? For that, you'll see that there is a safe place, and then you begin doing. And that's how it actually happens. That's how it manifests in one's consciousness. But devotees, what happens is when the relationship is not established, when the hearing is only passive hearing, it's not active hearing. Active hearing means one should really, really establish that relationship. Just like Arjuna established that relationship. If the relationship becomes active, then what happens is, then the truth will go into the heart. Bhakto sime sakha chete rahasyametam uttama. Krishna said, oh, this is the most confidential knowledge, and I'm telling this to you because you're my devotee. And not only that, you're my sakha, friend. Because among friends, among intimate people, what they discuss, intimate things they discuss. They discuss about their family matters. Or this subject matter which Krishna is sharing is actually very intimate. It is not something which is superficial. No, no, these are all deep subject matters. And this intimate understanding of what Lord wanted to tell us, we can only get through our bona fide disciplic succession through our Guru Parampara. And then the intention of the sadhaka is to establish a relationship with that person so that we can understand the truth through that person. And that is a core of here where Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that one should establish a relationship with the Supreme Lord. And then there should be a person who should connect the jiva to that Supreme Master. And that is the duty of of our teachers, of our spiritual master, of the acharyas. Because that's their life. So through that life, what is happening, dear devotees? They will actually share us everything. Just like that mother is sharing everything, a child is understanding. Very, because a mother is sharing only to the child, not to everyone in the street. Likewise, Krishna is not giving this truth to Duryodhana or somebody else. He's giving it to Arjuna. Why only Arjuna? Because that he is his friend. If we become the devotee of the Lord, the devotee, then what happens? That will be gifted to us also. The process of Shravana is very intimate, dear devotees. If you actually see, Lord Chaitanya also manifested that. Because that's how he trained. Now, general discussion he'll tell to everyone. But very intimate things, he will only discuss with his close associates. That means through that relationship. It's very, very important. Where Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, right? This Bhagavad Gita is only for bhaktas, not to anyone else. Please try to understand. It's only for devotees, not to others. That establishment, if that establishment is not there, then we'll be baffled up in this world. The jiva is actually wandering from one state to other. But it also depends on the desire of the jiva. Please understand. If the jiva doesn't desire to get out of this world, if the jiva doesn't desire to come out of these materialistic inabilities of this world, then what happens? Then the Lord will facilitate that jiva according to his own desires. Because that is Krishna is a sensitive heart. He's a very simple person. He doesn't look for duplicious nature. It's a very simple person. If we can do it, we should tell, oh, my dear Lord, I can do this. If we cannot do this, we should be, oh, my dear Lord, I cannot do this. I can't do this kind of a thing. Please help. So this thing of give and take is always there, dear devotees. Is always there. We're actually discussing about the glories of the acharyas and the spiritual master just now, right before this. Because it's a great opportunity for us here where we're in a place. Dear devotee, 1 second. 1 second. So that thing, every devotee has their own understanding of the absolute truth, especially in the relationship, because every devotee is a unique. One devotee's consciousness might not be same to the other devotee, because his way of taking the truth is different compared to the other way of other person taking the truth. And Krishna wants both of them because they are serving the Lord, both of them in a different way. And Krishna wants both because externally one person might be doing more, the other person might not be doing more. But what is the intention Krishna is watching? Not more or less. Krishna is watching in which mood, which consciousness is doing. Because one person relationship with the Lord will be one. The other person relationship with the Lord will be one. Will be something else. So that relation comes to one's consciousness when he continues in the process. When he remains submissive, when he accepts the truth, when he's trying to perceive what really has to be done. If all of those things are coming in the proper channel, then what happens, what is this? Then we get to know the truth more. That's why Duryodhana was not being given the truth. Please understand this here. Very important because Duryodhana is not a devotee of the Lord. No, he knows Krishna. He's not a devotee. Because he's thinking Krishna is a king. No, a lot of, everyone might be telling to Duryodhana, no, he's not just a king, he's a supreme personality of God. But he doesn't want to agree to that because he's not a devotee. Now, who is a devotee? That means devotee means he should just blindly follow. No, it's not about blindly following. Did Arjuna blindly follow? No. He would ask so many questions now in Gita. He reveals his heart and he would ask how a pure devotee would look, what he is to do, and why these anarthas are pulling, how the mind will trouble. Huh? Why the intelligence is baffled up. He would ask so many questions in Gita, and then Krishna is addressing every question. And he would say, "Oh, why this mind is so chanchala? Why I cannot concentrate? Why is my throat drying up?" He says, my dear Lord, please help me." So he presents so many things. Through that, so many things, what is happening is intimately, the sadhaka is actually connecting more, and then naturally becomes a devotee. Today in the afternoon, I was talking to the god sister, then where she was asking this question, very interesting. The question is, how is the mind sometimes it is congenial to the process of Krishna consciousness, other times it is not congenial. Why is that? Why is that? If we are part and parcel of the Lord, if we have a relationship with the Lord, if we have relationship with our spiritual master, then why is it that these things do happen in our life? That why is that I'm unable to concentrate? Why is that I'm unable to remain in that pure state always? Why is the mind troubling? This is a question. So it's a very practical question to assess, to analyze, to discuss. And then don't we see? Didn't we see like Arjuna also had that kind of an issue? Not just Arjuna, every condition soul has that. But the problem is the condition is so deep in this world that we don't realize that we are conditioned because we are absorbed in other materialistic activities of this world. Because these materialistic activities that is what it is carrying us, not anything else. So these things have to be addressed. What should we do? These things have to be addressed. Otherwise, what happens is, for example, if take the same Arjuna's example, if Arjuna was not looking for a solution, he has a problem, but he's not looking for a solution. Do you think Krishna would have spoken Gita? No, Krishna wouldn't have spoken Gita. Krishna spoke Gita because Arjuna had a question. Arjuna was in a problem and then he was trying to come out of that problem and then he started asking questions to the Lord. That is when Lord responded. That means Lord is only responding to us when we really call him out. Please understand, if a person is absorbed in his life, that means he's taking care of his family, he's eating, sleeping, taking care of the children, he's ensuring that the children are going to school, comes back, he does office, and then after that he cooks for the children, he feed him. After that they sleep, again repeating the same thing next day. So when a person is absorbed in this process in this way, do you think that the Krishna will trouble that person? The person doesn't have any desire. What Krishna will do, he will just leave him. Why? Because he doesn't want to interfere into the free will of that person. But he will find ways to teach him through some lesson, through some difficulty, through some way, through some other person. Now slowly he will send, the Lord will send devotees in their life. To the prayers of the spiritual master, what happens is that that igniting what is the consciousness, right? You see, there's always this consciousness which is there. So the Lord will send those associates, and then that association, what happens is that person will actually ignite, and he will tell, "Oh no, Baba, what you are doing is not right. Just go this side." Now, unlimited ways, unlimitedly, one can be baffled up in this world. Because Asatya, untruth platform is always untruth. No, the truth platform is only one. But untruth has many folds. Truth is only one path. For example, if you want to go to Cleveland, you have to take, either you have to take a flight or you have to drive. You have to just drive because your destination is that. And whatever is the Cleveland exit, you will take that exit. And then you'll reach the destination because that is truth. For example, if you want to go to Cleveland, but you're taking the exit of Pittsburgh, will that work? It will not work because you're supposed to go to Cleveland, but you're going taking the exit of Pittsburgh. Will I go to Cleveland? No. That means what is happening through ignorance, one state of consciousness and then mind, in his mind and mind, in his heart is deviated. He is distorted. Please try to understand. Very important, dear devote. The subject matter is very important, and we should also know why Arjuna was being chosen. Because Arjuna is a devotee, and that is not a devotee on impersonal level. He is a devotee in a personal level. He's fully devoted to the Lord, and that's why Krishna. Krishna is not satisfied if his devotees are not happy. Krishna is not happy if the devotees are not happy. No, he will ensure that they will be happy. And that's how he sends his associates. Now, through that association, what happens is slowly, the anarthas which are there in the heart, they will be removed. Just like Arjuna, after submitting himself, just like Arjuna submitted himself to the Lord, what happened later? What is? His heart got transformed. The grief which was there, the grief is no longer there. How I see this. When devotees do come and meet my spiritual master, and then they will be worried before the meeting. And then after the discussion, joyfully they come out of the room. And then when we see their faces, they will be happy. What happened? Before half an hour, you're not happy, but after half an hour, through the discussion, what happened? Why? Because their heart has been addressed. Now, who will be happy? The person whose heart is addressed, then he will be happy. Now, how the heart will be addressed? Through the truth, and especially through the relationship. That's how Arjuna's heart was addressed. That's why Prabhupada is mentioning about disciplic succession, Guru Parampara, that this Guru Parampara is a prominent way. This is the only way we can get the truth. Example, this is a beautiful discussion. I remember my spiritual master telling many days back about how this disciplic succession is so important. For example, there are like 25 people. All these 25 people, what is happening is, so these 25 people are there in the line. Okay. So these 25 people, which are there, they've been told something in their ear, the first person. And then he told some word in his ear. He heard, and then he has to tell to the next person again in the ear. So likewise, the person to person, the same word is being distributed. At the end, the first person who passed on the instruction, he will go to the end. And then he will hear what the last person is telling. The message is changed. Because everyone will not repeat the message in the same way. Because everyone cannot perceive the same way, the same words. Those are all removed from one's consciousness. So please try to understand that what we are receiving, especially from Srila Prabhupada and his pure followers is the absolute truth as is, which is not concocted, which is not changed, which is not distorted. Everything is coming as is. That's why we should be ever grateful, especially to Srila Prabhupada and his pure followers who are giving that association. Should be ever grateful to them because that truth which they have learned from the spiritual master is not distorted truth, but that truth is absolutely coming from Krishna. If we understand the importance of that, we will be ever grateful for them. Because that is truth. That is not untruth. And dear devotees, we'll discuss about this truth and untruth tomorrow. I have to immediately leave now because I have to go to the other place. I have to wind off the call here. Thank you so very much. Sorry, please excuse me. I have to leave a little early today. Thank you so very much for your association. We cannot even take questions or any sharings today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna. If I spoke anything wrong, please excuse me. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.